Survive 30 days chained to your ex, win $250,000, Part 17. Morning broke clear and pale, washing the city in a tender gold. Clara rose early, drawn by an idea that had come to her in the quiet hours of night, to climb the old town's clock tower and see the world from above. She crossed the square just as its stones were warming under the first touch of sunlight. Bakers were setting fresh loaves in their windows, and pigeons traced quick shadows over the cobbles. At the base of the tower, a small line had begun to form, but she joined it gladly, gazing up at the astronomical clock. Its hands moved with unhurried grace. The carved figures seemed to stir faintly, as though greeting the day. When at last she stepped inside, a hush settled over her. The stone stairway spiraled upward, cool and dim, its walls marked with centuries of handprints. With each step, Clara felt history folding close around her. There were faint scratches in the stone, initials of travelers long gone, and the smell of old wood drifting from beams above. She paused midway, pressing a palm to the wall, letting herself imagine all the voices that had climbed here before: merchants, scholars, lovers, soldiers, each leaving invisible traces in the air. At the top, sunlight streamed through arched openings, revealing a panorama of rooftops, bridges, and the silver thread of the river winding below. The city stretched endlessly, a patchwork of red tiles and curling lanes, alive yet tranquil in its morning stillness. Clara stepped onto the wooden platform, resting her violin against the railing. The breeze caught a strand of her hair, carrying it toward the horizon. A caretaker approached quietly, an older woman in a dark coat with keys jangling at her waist. She nodded politely, then leaned on the railing beside Clara. "You're lucky," she said, voice low. "On days like this, the city speaks clearly. You just have to listen between the bells." Clara smiled, lifting her instrument. She began to play a light, airy tune, one that rose and tumbled like birds over the square. The notes mingled with the wind, weaving through the clock's wooden gears, brushing past the bells above. For a heartbeat, it felt as if time itself had paused to hear her melody. When the music faded, the caretaker gestured toward a small carved panel hidden in the clock's frame. "Few notice this," she said. "Open it." Inside was a narrow recess containing folded slips of paper, each bearing a short message written by visitors: wishes, confessions, small fragments of hope. Clara carefully added her own, a promise to keep listening, to keep weaving the city's stories into song. As the bells began their hourly chime, she descended slowly, her mind alive with new rhythms. Down in the square, the bustle had grown. Voices rising, shop shutters opening, a painter setting up his easel. Clara felt lighter, as though the climb had gifted her something intangible. A quiet understanding that Prague held endless layers, waiting patiently for anyone willing to look deeper. She tucked her violin beneath her arm and stepped into the sunlight, ready to follow wherever the next hidden corner might lead.